I am Stella Jane Penn from SRP V8 Diamonds Mastery, and today I'm going to be going through another recording as part of my Master the Skill series. This one we are going to cover today is called Winner's Attitude. You become what you think about most of the time. There is more than 20 years of research on this subject today that I'm going to cover with you right here, right now. So, why do so many people do so well in life, while so many more, as we discussed previously on other recordings, the 5% group compared to the 95% that do not? Now, the first thing I am going to discuss with you today is the magic word. The experts call it the most important word as far as the results that we get from life. And, whatever those results from life are concerned in our language or any other language throughout the world, it represents the same. And that magic word is attitude. Attitude is defined as the position or bearing as indicating action, feeling, or mood. And it is in our actions, our feelings, or our moods which determine the actions and feelings or moods of others towards us. Which, to no surprise, the surprising extent then either represent our success or our failure. It is our attitude towards life force itself which will determine life's attitude towards us. And we need to face the fact that sometimes it is so difficult to see at first, I know, but we need to look honestly and deeply within ourselves and reshape our own lives and life. These shapes of our lives will be determined by our attitude. And if our attitude absolutely stinks, if a person has a poor attitude towards learning, for example, then that person isn't going to learn very much until they change their attitude. If we take the attitude that we cannot do something, then generally we will not do it. An attitude of failure, and we are already in disbelief of our own abilities in ourselves before we even start. So we then know that what we receive from life, we either accomplish or we fail to accomplish. And this is due in large measure to our overall attitudes. William James from Harvard University once said, and I'm going to recite it to you here right now: the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives, but altering their attitudes of mind. So we must alter our attitudes of mind to be able to alter our lives as human beings. Guys, isn't it beautiful that we have this measure of control within each and every single one of us? We were blessed with the same things when we were born, but it's up to each individual person, us, then if they apply it or if we apply it correctly or not. So before I start talking and covering about our attitude and our attitudes to the rest of the world, as Alex mentioned, one of our mentors, our greats of life, he recently referred to it on a call that we shared, and that was our egos. And let's talk about our attitudes to ourselves. It is in fact the attitude that we take towards ourselves within that decides our attitude towards the rest of the world. So at this point, we now have to come to the stage of a strange fact. We are so familiar within ourselves that we tend to take ourselves for granted. We tend to minimize our potential, things that we can accomplish, the goals and the dreams of our own lives that we too can reach. And equally, for some other strange reason, we believe that others have greater potential, if not more potential, than us. We believe this in our own minds about others and lack our own abilities. We think that other people can reach these things in our field that we cannot. There are literally millions and millions of human beings living darkened, frustrated, lack of lives, living defensively, simply because people decide to take a doubtful, defensive attitude towards themselves, deciding to doubt their own abilities and follow someone else instead and decide lack of. As a result, we do less. But life in general, look at people as a majority in life. People are suspicious of and are opposed to change from what they know or have chosen for themselves. Yet change is the one thing in life from what we can absolutely count on and do something about, that one thing that's truly, truly needed. People who stay young inside of their own minds, positive attitudes, a healthy mind, not only welcome change, but see it for what it really is: new opportunity, new chances for change, for further fulfillment in their lives, feeding their minds full of goodness. Attitude is a reflection, a direct result of a person's will to change. I know that's hard to take, but it is the most powerful. It can bring about marvelous, marvelous results for us all, but we need to train it patiently, taking each day by day approach with it, nurturing it, giving it the time it needs. Now, I'm going to cover the attitudes of the people that are successful. The top 5% of the people who go sailing through life, it seems, from one success to the other, who even when they once failed perhaps or still fail at some things, they get straight back up, they shrug it off, dust themselves off, and they head right back at it again. No matter who the person is or what he or she does, women and men in sales, business, executives, people within all professions, professional people who carry themselves forward, no matter what they do, wives, husbands, networking, inspiring students, mothers, influencers, fathers, top people within their own sectors, within the armed forces, public servants, doctors, people, professors, serving God, religion, women and men in all fields of life. Whether you find a person doing an outstanding job and getting outstanding results, you will find a person with the right kind of attitude, with the right kind of mindset. These people take the attitude on both the outside towards other people and within themselves that they can accomplish what it is that they've set out to accomplish and achieve. But there is no good reason on earth, no better reason than right now that they can be competent and successful. They show it and they share it with others, and they have a healthy attitude towards themselves, towards life, and as a result, towards that life that they truly want to accomplish. Because of this, they achieve some truly, truly remarkable things. They become to be called elite, outstanding, successful, world greats, brilliant, lucky, hand it on a plate often, and a lot of other things, mainly then from others. They are, though, quite honestly, no more brilliant or outstanding than the majority of the people with whom they are surrounded. But what they did do was they decided to develop the right attitude. They found their accomplishments not too difficult, or if they did, they found a way to overcome the obstacles, their difficulties, and they began to shine bright like the diamonds that I refer to all of the time, that we were all meant to be. Many times people look at someone thinking that they are unable to achieve what they have, but often at times the doubt is only in our own minds, and it can be surprisingly easy, simply because it seems that so few people are really trying, really believing in themselves and trying. Successful people, powerful people, born to serve people come in all different shapes and sizes. We are all unique. We all have a place within varying degrees of our intelligence, backgrounds, and many, many more things. But let me tell you, we all have a unique place, and people need us. But the one thing that all of those people have in common, that we all have in common if we let ourselves, the 5% groups, expect more good out of life than bad. They expect to succeed more than they fail. Even as a trader, just think about that. We all have the same markets. So why do some people fail and some succeed? Why are some people elite and master the skill while others do not? And if you want something worthwhile, take the attitude that there are a lot more reasons why you can have and others that you cannot, and set out to earn it. Go after what it is that you want, work at it, do what you need to do in order to be able to get it. What you don't or didn't see is all of the sacrifices that we had to give up in order to be able to go after our goals and dreams. And you can too. I and we are no different. We were just prepared to change. Listen and surround ourselves with only the elites, the 5% groups of people, surrounding ourselves around the people that too had or wanted the same things. Do you remember the book Ask for It and It Is Given by Abraham, like Esther Hicks? Yeah, amazing book. Ask for it and it is given. Great one to read. If you truly ask for it, 9 times out of 10 you'll get it. Our own environment is really a mirror of our own mental attitudes. If we don't like our environment, we have to change our attitude first. The world plays no favorites here. It's impartial. It doesn't care whether we choose to change or not. And adopting a good, healthy attitude towards life itself doesn't affect the world and the people in it nearly as much as it affects us within ourselves. It will be impossible even to estimate the number of jobs which have been lost, people's so-called security. As you heard me speak about that, before, promotions missed, opportunities missed, the number of sales not made, targets set, not hit, the number of marriages ruined, relationships failed by poor attitudes. But you can also add up the number in the millions, the jobs which are still held but hated, the marriages and relationships people settle for or which are tolerated but unhappy. This is all because of people that are waiting for the world and others to change towards them and around them, instead of being big enough, wise enough to get rid of their own egos, to at least make a test, to approve beyond any shadow of any doubt where most of, or at least the majority of, the trouble lies. Studies made of the lives of literally thousands of successful people have shown that they reap the rewards through confidence, assurance within that they expect success and they get success. I accept no less than success. If someone else has it and has achieved it, then so can I. You can again spot these people a mile off. I've talked about this before. The way that they walk, the way that they look and act, the way they walk into a room, the way that they talk to people, or even if they don't talk to people, you can feel it about them just by looking at them. When they enter that room, they may be short, fat, tall, thin, or any combination, but they have about them the attitude of success. Green pastures, you often hear it's greener on the other side, and I'm also going to cover that in another recording. But right now, I wish you to realize, if you don't already know this, but in 5 years or less, you can get right to the top of the work or field you are now doing. I know this because I read lots and lots of books, I listen to audios, and I make sure that I work alongside the elites. And that is done in order for me to be the best that I am able to be. And for myself to become elite, I have to stay elite because I am elite, and so are you. Do you know this is the important thing, okay? Dean Graziosi once said to me, Stella, be the underdog. And I didn't know what he meant by that at the time. And then I did. The minute that you do know it, you'll have this right attitude, and I'm talking about and sharing with you in this recording. Keep listening to it. The easiest and most effective means of forming a good attitude is a habit, and that is to begin to act as though you have a good, positive, expectant attitude towards life. Let that become a habit. Begin right now. Decide today to walk, act, and look as though you belong to this 5% elite group. If you are already in the top 5%, you'll then know what I'm meaning by this. But if you've never tried it, guys, you'll be amazed at what happens. You know, I always talk about the mind, body, and soul. Actions trigger feelings, just as feelings trigger actions. Action equals reaction. And this is a little exercise that you can do for yourself when you're alone to prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that you may still have niggling away inside of that little mind of yours, which by no means is it little. It is amazing. And that is a good attitude, a healthy mind. The whole mind, body, and soul can change a person's life as dramatically as walking from a darkened room into the light, the bright, clear light of day. I read this again from one of the many inspirational and personal growth books that I read daily. Life is dull only to dull people. And this is so, so true. But it is also could have been read as this. Life is interesting only to interesting people. Or life is successful only to successful people. Or I love this one. Life is elite only to elite people. But you know where I'm going with this. You can change it. What I'm trying to say and point out to you here is this is something I have too learned. You must first become mentally, from an attitude standpoint, okay, that which you wish to achieve. And there was another famous, I think it was a famous person. Let's say it was a famous professional, okay, a really professional, efficient person. I think the person owned a restaurant. But the reporter asked them, when did you become successful? And they replied, I was successful when I was sleeping on park benches. And I also recall something really, really similar I was shared this by a lady called Sarah Luann Jones. And at the time, I asked her what she did. And that's for another recording. But she said to me, read The Laptop Millionaire. And this was by Mark Anastasi, who was once living on the streets. And it was shared to me. And also, it was shared to him that the many things that I'm also covering with you here today, before he became successful, before all of these people became successful in their own rights. And this book also went on to be published, The Laptop Millionaire. But the person was on the streets, but he went to a coffee shop and he met what he calls the laptop millionaire, who shared these types of things with him. And it changed his life forever. The person also then went on to say, who was the business owner that owned the restaurant, because I knew what I wanted to do and that I would do it. Remember, any place you are, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, where you are at in your life right now, you can change it if you want to. And in short, their attitude had been one in success, expecting success within your own mind, long before the material aspect side of it. The tangible rewards of success had been earned. Okay. So I'm going to get into this particular subject that leads to the field in record numbers that would be a worthy destination, the same to that road I am on right now. You see, I know where I'm going, and I have always known where I'm going. But you didn't notice me. You didn't notice until you've noticed. And you do not know what you do not know. Do you know me? Yeah, do you know me? But getting back to, okay, so now remember that a person, you as that person, must act, look, and because of these things, feel successful before the success they seek can become, as they say. Okay. So the chances are you too know these types of people, the people call or decide to call lucky. Lucky times of good and wonderful things seem to happen to them. The Alex Mortons of the world, people say he's just lucky, right? I don't see that he's lucky though. Okay, I don't see it that way. I see that he outworks the 95%, and that makes him the 5% elite. Why? Do you do or give up what he has, what he sacrificed, what he made, what he makes and still does every single day? And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about leading the way for many. One of the world's greats who does this, follow him. Oh, as mentors, look what he does. He does so much more than so many. Okay. And that's Alex Morton mindset. Amazing, amazing person. But basically, these types of people, they give you the impression to the many 95% that these types of people are happily sailing through life, having a wonderful time and getting more accomplished in a year than most people do in 5, if not a lifetime. These 5% elite people. And this has also been figured out and proven pretty scientifically, may I add. Damned if anyone conscientiously goes about the exercise that I'm also going to recommend, but please try it and stay with it, doing it every single day, just for the next 30 days even, but without fail. That person can join the small, happy and extremely productive group too that I talk about, if they so wish. Within this group of people, this person then too will find themselves lucky, as others say, as they once too said. Most of their problems were pretty much taken care of themselves. Okay. And you can be sure that the results will be nothing shorter than amazing if you look at this. It truly makes no difference how good a person's attitude has been in the past. My attitude probably stank to others once in certain areas and times of my life, but that was in the past. There was a reason, I'm sure, to me at that time, but that was what it was to me. And also the thing that held me back instead of moving me forward in other areas of life. Better areas, areas where to change was needed in order for me to become the person that I am today, one of the successful 5% greats, not with a big ego, but to help others and to grow with others, to grow with the elites together. I needed that. Anything in the past, anything can be improved. Okay, it can. It's the small refinements upon something that's already good and then make it great. So I'm going to go back to the exercise for you, okay, and you can test this out for yourself. So for the next 30 days, act towards the rest of the world, everyone with whom you come into contact with. Have the attitude of good, and which represents the kind of results that you want to achieve yourself. And that is, if the result you want is more success in what you are doing or of a certain area of your life, act as though you are already in possession of the success or the life that you seek. And if you want others to treat you with admiration and respect, and this is huge, treat others with admiration and respect. Treat people as the unique beings that they are. Share and serve others. That's what SRP V8 Diamonds Mastery represent. Firstly, when I two became one. I took Rich's hand and he took mine in marriage. 15 years to the day. And then we chose to serve, sparkle, the love and the energy to others throughout the world. God blessed us with each other. Our job was then also to serve and make a significant impact and contribution to all mankind with our time on this earth. To become something, to be someone, to serve others on a huge level, and to become elite ourselves. To help everyone else that also wishes to do the same in their own lives. Assist them with how they can too become elite, just like you. Not to be selfish, but to share. Gain that admiration and respect of others. It feels amazing. Do that first. Be real. Be honest. Be you. I am no longer the person I used to be, but I am still 100% me. These are written in front of me all my life, every single day. You cannot deliver what you have not yet developed. Listening is more than hearing what is said. It's noticing and surfacing what isn't said. Every single one of you is born a winner, but someone, somewhere, at some time, programmed you to lose. Planners, journals, how to get what you want. What will you become? Start this with me today. If you do this, remember this, every human being on earth is the most important human being on this earth, as far as she or he is concerned. You might not actually get anyone to admit this. It's a fact. You are what you think, you are what you act. But I'm just saying to you, I'm guiding you for the next 30 days. Treat every person with whom you two come into contact with the most important person. Treat them as though they are the most important person on earth. Remembering as you do so that as far as that person is concerned, he or she truly is. And the reason I'm guiding you to actually treat everyone in this same fashion that you too so wish to be treated and desire, like that unique diamond I refer to, that you too, you and I are no different. We are all born the same. We all come into the world the same. I believe every single person listening to this today, to the end, and by their being open to change, is mainly because us human beings ought to treat each other, and because it will help you too to form a habit that will bring you amazing, amazing results and for the rest of your life. Have you ever noticed that the higher that you go in any organization, we have a huge organization with amazing, amazing greats, but they weren't born great. The higher the value, the nicer the people seem to become. You know, the bigger the person, the easier it is to talk to them, to get along with them, to do business with them on the same level. And do you know why? It's because they too have got a good attitude. Like attracts like. I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. Now, you know, obviously, if you don't share with any value, anything, anywhere, or speak to anyone, of course, no one can find you, okay? But you do have to obviously put in the work and some value to give. But the right 5% people to join you, your small elite group, will find you. People with the best attitudes thus naturally gravitate to the top, the higher self we wish to become. So I'm challenging you, I'm guiding you for the next 30 days at least. Act towards others and the world on a huge scale, okay? Act to those people in exactly the same manner that you wish the world and others to act towards you. Ask yourself this also. Do or are my chosen 5% elite group acting towards me as I wish? I'm asking you that to ask yourself. Am I acting as I should towards them? I always ask myself that. Are we getting the best from each other? And if not, then make the changes necessary. Don't blame others for your lack of. If you are not where you need to be in your life, then you need to change it. You. Treat your husband or your wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, your chosen one to spend life with. Treat them and show them the person he or she really is inside and outside, the most important person in your life. The same with your family, your chosen family, your blended family, your fur baby family, whatever you consider your family, your why, your people. Carry out into the rest of the world each morning and night for at least the next 30 days. The kind of attitude that you would have if you were the most successful human being on this earth right now. Make sure you are singing off the same hymn sheet as one another. Sharing is caring. Share what you know. Share what you are learning. Share what you are doing with that special person. Grow and change together into superhumans, and then go and spread the love, light, and energy to others. Teach them, guide them, but never ever try to control them. And they are not wanting to do this for you. People don't want to do it for you. They are working and wanting this for themselves, to find what you have found and to be shown by you how they too can get there. Guys, lead them with love. Lead them to the same light, but be blessed that you are the chosen one, because you truly care about people and you care about them. Be elite for the people. Be elite for you. Be elite for your loved ones. Be elite for God. Be elite for you, most importantly. And be proud of you and believe in you. And notice how quickly that then develops into a habitual attitude. You know, you become a creature of not comfort, but you do what's needed to do by habit. I'm sure you've got some awful habits. And if you haven't, you know, we've all had them at some point. We can all say we haven't, but we have. Act upon them, develop a good habit and a good attitude. And when a person does this, she or he should soon realize that they have already placed themselves on that road, that right road that they seek. She or he right now is in that top 5% of the people in this country or in any other country in the world. The rest of the world, it never sleeps. She or he has prepared the ground and planted the seed and watered it. And this person has made themselves a magnet, an embodiment of that to which they seek. You know, guys, before metal can be cast into the desired shape or like a diamond, the mold, the expectant outcome must first be fashioned, they say. Before a building can be erected, the excavation must be made and the foundation, that must be laid. And before a person can achieve the kind of life that she or he desires or wants, then that person first must become that kind of individual. They must think, they must act, they must talk, walk, and conduct themselves in a certain manner. Ask yourself this: would you want to be with you in all of their affairs as that person she or he wishes to become? Look within and become that person first. Okay? And then once they're actually that person, and then they have the things he or she that person would also have, the same things have that person do. That's what I mean. So when that person has become the person he or she wishes to be, then you need to teach people how to do the same, and it will naturally come to them, not through force. Lead through love and guidance. Help others with love, truth, and honesty. Not for you, for them. Almost immediately, a change will be noticed. Irritations that once were frustrations, angers, annoyance, teams collapsing, all disappear into this thin air that they say when some less informed individual gives you a bad time. Stay in your own lane. Stay on track when someone cuts in front of you, if you're in your car, if you're driving, any other accident. Look for preventions, not retaliations. Ignore the ignorance and any other lack of. Have courtesy to others. Look past it. Don't permit yourself to lower yourself to their level. Just pity them. And at the end of the day, guys, that's what they truly deserve. You can't change that for them. Only they can. But you can change it for you, and you can choose not to lower yourself to that level. This is the very group a person does not want to belong to, okay? The greedy group, the selfish group. Normally, the 95% population of the world, that group, they are part of. And if they act in this manner, angry within their own lives, well, let's face it, okay? They belong together, and they sadly do belong in that group. There's nothing in the world that women and men, our younger selves before that we once were before we were adults, want and need for themselves. A feeling that they belong, that we are needed, they are needed, that they are important, that we are important, that they are respected and valued and loved, that they are remembered by their names and not just another number to someone else. They will love, they will give affection, they will give respect, they will give their business also to the person who fulfills this need for them. Guys, the magic word I came to, and it is today, is attitude. Master the skill, master the magic word, attitude. I'm going to sum this up today, okay, in a simple, duplicatable way for you to be able to apply these two simple points that I've gone through today to keep in your minds, in your beautiful minds, your new changed mind, the beautiful, caring person that you have now chosen to become, no matter what. No one is going to stand in your way. One, it is our attitude at the beginning of a task which, more than anything else, will affect a successful outcome. Two, it is our attitude towards life which determines life's attitude towards us. Three, we are interdependent. It is impossible to succeed without others, and it is our attitude towards others which would determine their attitude towards us. Four, before a person can achieve the kind of life he or she would want or desires, they must become what kind of individual they must think, act, talk, walk, and conduct themselves and all of their affairs as would the person they wish to become. 5. The higher you go in any organization of value, the better will be the attitude you will find. 6. Your mind can hold only one thought at a time, and since there's nothing at all to be gained about being negative, be positive. 7. The deepest craving of human beings is to be needed, to feel important, to be appreciated, and to feel loved. Give it to them, and they will return it to you. 8. Look for the best in new ideas. As someone once said, whatever amount of person, I could always learn something from. I am forever learning. I'm forever a student. I'm always learning, always listening, always applying. And a simple piece of valuable information is not for yours to keep. It can assist another person to be able to change their own situation. 9. Don't waste time broadcasting personal problems. It probably won't help you. In fact, it does not, and it certainly cannot help others. 10. Don't talk about your health unless it's good. 11. Radiate the attitude of well-being, of confidence. If a person knows where they are going, this will inspire others around you, and you'll find good things will begin happening to you. 12. Lastly, for at least the next 30 days, treat everyone, every single person with whom you come into direct contact with, as the most important person on earth, because they are. And if you do this for 30 days, do this, then you will, after you have, because you have created a habit, you would do this for the rest of your life. You often hear people say it's greener on the other side. Greener pastures new. And I'm going to share that in another recording, guys, okay, with you about this another time. But for now, remember these words. Success or failure in any undertaking is caused more by the mental attitude than by the mental capacities. Love and light, everybody. Again, I'm Stella Jane Penn from SRP V8 Diamonds Mastery. Together, we serve sparkle, love, light, and energy to others throughout the world. Namaste.